Very interesting news regarding the future of Guerrilla Games and a quote from the boss of that Horizon development studio, Herman Hulst. They're namely moving to a bigger building in early 2019. Congrats to them, but what does it all mean? Let's get into it in this video. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated, and let's go. Guerrilla Games wants to grow to 400 full-time employees, while right now they are at around the 250 people working at the studio, and that is already increasing rapidly. With never-ending job listings on the website, and Herman Hulst says that now even best talents come to them as well. Not really weird, of course, after the success of Horizon. Last month they hired 9 new people, and recently Gilles Armstrong, who worked at Eidos Montreal, known for the Deus Ex series for example, joined the studio as well, so they are growing fast for sure. Right now they are at the Herengracht in Amsterdam, but they will move in early 2019 to the Old Telegraaf complex, so the old building from a Dutch newspaper, and they will occupy 5 floors of that building, so everything except for the ground floor, and that's in total 7,300 square meters, so that is huge. And it's not only because they want to increase the amount of employees, but also because they need increased space for more sound and motion tracking studios. The most interesting part of this article from the Dutch news website Parool though is the fact that Herman Hulst says that the 6.5 years of development time for Horizon was exceptional, and that they want to release a new game every 2 or 3 years. And this is huge because it implies that the sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn will likely launch in 2020 at the latest. I mean, the game released in early 2017, and I would imagine that 3 years is enough development time to create this sequel. I mean, why would Herman otherwise say that they want to release a new game every 2 or 3 years if Horizon 2 is slated to hit in 2021? I think that my recent Horizon Zero Dawn 2 video where I said that I think that the game will be a PS4 title and will launch in 2020 got some extra power now. Totally check that one out if you haven't already by clicking on the screen. Also interesting is that Herman says that this 2 to 3 years thing for a new game applies to existing franchises, but also to new titles. And with them aiming for 400 full-time people, I can totally see them split the studio into 2 teams, one focusing on the Horizon Zero Dawn franchise, with the other team maybe working on something completely new. And I think that at this point it's weird to think about Guerrilla Games already working on another new IP with the Horizon franchise in the early years. But on the other hand, I'm like, sure, if they continue Horizon as well, I'm totally fine with them toying around and thinking of something new as well. I think a new IP is more likely for this potential second team than them returning to Killzone anytime soon, but it could totally be that a small Guerrilla Games team will return to that franchise at some point, because yeah, I would imagine that they have a ton of possibilities with 400 people working at the studio. Herman says that Guerrilla Games will likely not have to worry for at least 10 years about a new office, so maybe this means that they at least have plans for the Horizon franchise for 10 years. I mean, if they keep making those games and releasing them, I think they will totally turn a profit and not have to look for another building anytime soon. Herman even says that it's the idea to never leave the building, implying that they will likely remain as big as it's going to become right now. Totally not weird, because Horizon Zero Dawn sold and is still selling. That last part is really important, like the tail of this game is insane, like it was in the top 10 for both the EU and the US PlayStation Store sales of last month. So they create way more potential new buyers for that next game, and I think it's more and more likely that we will see it at the end of this year. Like I already said in that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 PS4 video as well, if Sony wants to do like a sort of press conference at the end of this year and release Horizon Zero Dawn 2 in 2020, teasing it at the Paris Games Week in October, or maybe PlayStation Experience in December, makes way too much sense. And yes, then I mean teasing it like that we see Aloy and maybe the sort of setting of the game and also the title of the game with a full gameplay reveal at E3 2019. Just like they did last year with Ghost of Tsushima. Of course, pure speculation at my part, but with this news as well, I think it's more and more likely that we will see it rather sooner than later. We will have to wait and see though. I will keep a close eye out as always, so subscribe if you haven't already for everything Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or whatever it will be called, probably Horizon Drop a like to support the channel. By the way, if the audio is a little bit weird, I'm in a hotel room now in Canada, so more about that later, but that's why the audio is a little bit weird and I'm a little bit tired as well. Anyway, check out that big Horizon Zero Dawn 2 video, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.